Some important global market opinion that's coming through, but let's now talk about all of the individual cues that you should track as we get into this trading session, as well as some of the individual stocks that you should perhaps keep on your radar today. Our research team is here with the trade setup. Ekta, Mangalam, as well as Surbi join me now for exactly that and to prep you up for this trading session. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. Ekta, once again, we saw trading in a very narrow range all through yesterday. How's it looking this morning? The handover is a bit weak.
Thanks for that, Pavitra. Well, yes, it seems to be quite lackluster in terms of interest right now for the markets, despite the fact that, it is expiry week. But nonetheless, yesterday the markets did see range trade. The Nifty held on till 16,900. Surprisingly, FII's net bought around 1,531 odd crores, so that was definitely a positive. DII's net sold around 156.1 crores, so marginal sell figure coming in from the DIIs. Now, in terms of the overall global cues, the US markets, the Nasdaq fell for the second day consecutively, so that is a bit of a negative. Asia is currently mixed. We've seen a bit of a risk on take place because crude has inched up to around $79 per barrel. Gold has moved on account of the dollar dip as well, and as you can see, the SGX is marginally higher, so whether or not we manage to sustain or sell into that up move is something that the street will watch for. Now, in terms of a couple of other cues to watch for, volatility on account of March expiry today, since it is a holiday shortened week. Broader markets underperforming because yesterday the advanced decline ratio in the market was quite weak at around 1:3. Cues from the global markets on account of the banking crisis, considering that it has been quiet in terms of headlines in the past couple of days. COVID-19 cases, India did see around 1,500 cases plus in yesterday. So that would be something on the fringe that this market would track. Adani stocks, they could possibly see a bit of a bounce back today coming on the back of the clarification from the company. The company did end with cuts of around 3 to 7% in terms of respective stocks yesterday. And overall holiday shortened week, so maybe volumes could dip over the next, at least on Friday's trading session.
All right, Ekta, thanks a lot for running us through all of those cues. Let's also talk about the individual stocks that you should watch for in today's trading session. We have Surbi standing by with that entire list. Hi, Surbi.
Hi, good morning. First one up on my radar is Vedanta, where the board approves the 5th interim dividend of 20.5 rupees per share. The record date for this dividend is 7th of April. Also, the acting CFO Ajay Goel resigns from his position effective April 9th. Next is SML Isuzu. The company hikes prices of trucks and buses by 4% and 6% respectively from April 1st. Jindal Stainless, the company acquires 49% stake in Indonesian-based nickel pig iron company for a consideration of around $157 million. GR Infra Projects, the company receives letter of acceptance from the East Coast Railway for construction of tunnels. The cost of this project is approximately 588 crores and the completion period is 18 to 30 months from now. NBCC, the company receives work orders worth 146 crores. And lastly, Agachai Magnesita, the company is going to consider a fundraise via preferential issues of 200 crores on its board meeting on April 1st.
All right, Surbi, thanks a lot for taking us through that entire list of stocks. In fact, since we are speaking about stocks, remember the Adani group of shares was also under pressure in yesterday's trading session, and the group has now issued a clarification over its share pledges. So refuting the report by digital publication The Ken, the group has said in a statement that it had fully prepaid margin-linked share-backed financing of $2.15 billion. In fact, the group also referred to a media release on the 12th of March and said that all shares corresponding to financing had been released. So that's an important update that came through in terms of a clarification from the Adani group. But finally, I also want to hand it over to Mangalam now, who's looking at all of the cues from the futures and options space. Mangalam, tomorrow is a market holiday, which means expiries today.
It is March series expiry today, and not just the March series expiry, today is also the first time where we see expiry on the mid-cap index, which is weekly options expiry, so we'll watch out for that. But what's happened this time is historic, because not in the last 20 plus years have we seen four straight negative series, and March is down 560 points so far. So if you just take a look at it, the last four series, we've lost over 1,500 points on the Nifty. That leaves a lot of pressure on April. What happens next going forward? The start of a new financial year as well. But be that as it may, the FIs, while they bought in the cash market, in index futures, they continue to sell. Yesterday, they sold about 931 crores. 60% of that was directed towards selling Nifty futures, roughly 40% directed towards selling Nifty bank futures. FII longs still a paltry 16% with 84% of their exposure on the short side, a mark that we've seen for the last many series itself. In index option selling, however, we saw some bit of short call unwinding, telling you that if the market sustains lower levels and sustains above yesterday's high, there could be a case for some sort of short covering. But at the same time, there is strong support at the lower level, which is explained by the 38,000 put contracts that have been written on the short side. Because the market is in such a tight range that everyone's been talking about, it's the best time for those who are writing calls and puts together at a same strike, which is called a straddle, to make hay. 17,000 call as well as the 17,000 put. Both of them come up for you. Together they have a premium of about 110 rupees. 2 days ago it was close to 180 rupees. So option writers are eating into those premiums. Currently at 110 rupees premium, the range that they're playing out for in a narrow band is close to 16,900 on the lower level and 17,100 at the upper level. And the street believes that, this is the range that will play out as well. Because if you just take a look at it, day before yesterday, the low on the Nifty was 16,918. Yesterday, the low on the Nifty was 16,914. At the higher level, if you just take a look at day before yesterday, the high was 17,091, whereas yesterday's high was 17,062. However, having said all of these things, remember when the market's in a very narrow range, the narrowest range, the day after that, the direction in which the market moves, usually we've seen a bigger move in that direction itself. So let's see how that pans out.
Let's see how that pans out. Mangalam, thanks a lot for taking us through all of those cues from the futures and options space. But with that, we do need to get into a short break on the show now. On the other side, over 70 companies have faced the heat for allegedly manufacturing spurious or low-quality medicines. We're going to bring you all of the details when we come back. Hey guys, welcome back. You're still tuned into Power Breakfast. Here's an important story. Over 70 companies are facing the heat for allegedly manufacturing spurious or low-quality medicines. Sources in the Health Ministry have told us that manufacturing licenses of 18 companies have been cancelled and show-cause notices have also been issued to several others. Danish Anand, my colleague, is here with all of the details on this story. Danish.
Well, in a big move, the central government has taken stern action against pharma companies that are indulged in manufacturing of fake or substandard medicines. According to Health Ministry sources, the Drug Controller General of India inspected 76 companies across 20 states, and licenses of 18 firms have been cancelled till now, and they have also been ordered to stop manufacturing. The DCGI has also cancelled product permission of 3 companies, and the drug regulator has sent show-cause notice to 26 firms, and in total, 203 companies are under drug controllers' radar. According to sources, the surprise check will continue for the times to come.
All right, Danish, thanks a lot for bringing us all of the details on that story. But with that, it is time for another short break on the show. When we come back, we're going to shift focus to the world of commodities and tell you what's going on. Welcome back. You're still tuned into Power Breakfast. We've gone through everything that's happening as far as global equity markets go, but let's also talk about the world of commodities now. Manisha joins us with a quick update. Manisha, good morning. What are you looking at today?
Pavitra, morning. I'm looking at the crude oil price. It's trading at a 2-week highs, and for this week now, we are nearly 6.5% on the higher side, with latest support coming in from the fact that the U.S. crude inventories have seen a decline of more than 6 million barrels. That is a report coming in from API. The support also comes in from the fact that Turkey's 400, 500 barrels per day of an export also has been curbed because of legal disputes there. And then there is a lot of conversation coming in from Russia. The Chinese demand is expected on the higher side, and the Russian Urals also have come off its 2-year low. So a good week for the crude oil prices after that 3.5% of gains that we saw in the previous week as well. It has been good going for the metal prices also. So nickel is off its 5-month lows. Copper price is trading in the positive. Rubber is trading at a 2-week highs. Sugar price is trading at a 4-week highs. So many of these commodities in the international markets actually seem to be doing quite well today.
All right, Manisha, thanks a lot for getting us an update on what's going on with the commodities. But